Hello, and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Please like, subscribe, and share. Excuse me. Matthew 18, verse 10. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Across this bottom right here, of course, I will show two different ones where you contact. Suspect someone may be a victim of human trafficking? Call the Tennessee Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-855-55-TNHTH. And the other number to call, U.S. National Human Trafficking Hotline, get help 24/7, confidential, call 1-888-373-7888. For learning the hearing impaired, you can call 711. Text 23373. Another option as well. Since we're not only just talking about Tennessee here, because this is going on worldwide. Hey there, Jackie. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Now, we had a news report recently of how TBI rescued 13 children and they're exposing America's disturbing secret. Without further ado, I will go ahead and present the information. Plus, I have other avenues where I want to explore and get into as well. Y'all know me. I don't just talk about the story. I try to show other facts as well. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation rescues 13 at-risk missing children, exposing America's disturbing secret. See the child right here, tied up right here. Federal and local agencies, spearheaded by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI, orchestrated a 2-day rescue mission, aptly named Operation Not for Sale, to combat the alarming rise of child trafficking in and around Memphis, Tennessee. Identifying vulnerable children. According to the recent report published by Fox News on November 12, 2023, in collaboration with the U.S. Marshal Service, Homeland Security Investigations, Memphis Police Department, and the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation officials successfully located and rescued 13 children deemed at high risk for falling prey to human trafficking during this operation. Child welfare expert Dr. John DeGarmo, founder of the Foster Care Institute, together with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, sheds light on the factors that render children susceptible to trafficking. Children emerging from the broken homes of foster care in search of love outside the current environment are particularly vulnerable. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, working in tandem with local police, relies on various indicators such as familial histories of domestic violence, unique tattoos, yes, they can be tattooed, be wearing armbands or bands even around the neck, anywhere, or lavish clothing to pinpoint these at risk children. The dire need for a unified effort to locate and protect these vulnerable individuals is underscored by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation authorities' successful operation. In a recent news reported by the press, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and Tennessee Bureau of Investigation reported a staggering 17,200 cases of child sex trafficking in 2021, with 25,000 reports of runaway children, 1 in 6 likely to become trafficking victims. I'll read that again. It reported a staggering 17,200 cases of child sex trafficking in 2021. That alone is in Tennessee, with 25,000 reports of runaway children, 1 in 6 likely to become trafficking victims. He went so high here. I'm thankful that that kid was not grabbed. The story earlier, the little 3-year-old. Operation Not for Sale exemplifies the ongoing battle against this insidious issue as intelligence analysts identified high risk children weeks before the operation. TBI Director David Rush emphasized the necessity of multidisciplinary approaches, recognizing the immense trauma suffered by trafficking victims. Despite the success of recent operation, TBI remains vigilant, estimating that 500 to 600 children go missing every month in Tennessee. See, that's estimated. 500 to 600 children go missing every month in Tennessee, emphasizing the ongoing need for collaboration efforts to combat human trafficking. That's devastating, y'all. So they had collaborated with this organization, and they have it right here on the www.tennessee.gov, and I will need to stop my mic in a few minutes after I read down this thing right here. Human trafficking is modern day slavery, plain and simple. It happens here and it has to stop. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is committed to understanding and fighting human trafficking. Our state has consistently been ranked among the best in the nation for its approach to this crime, as a growing number of advocates from law enforcement to nonprofits to government agencies have stepped up to play a part in the solution. Consider the facts. In the United States, on average, every 2 minutes, a child is bought or sold for sex. How disgusting is that, y'all? Y'all keep telling me, a lot of you adults keep saying, I cannot believe adults could even do that to a child. Yes, but I'm trying to show you that it is happening. The average age of a child sold for sex is 13 years. So that does not mean that there's anyone at lesser ages that this is not happening to. Human trafficking is the second fastest growing criminal industry, just behind drug trafficking. In recent years, the TBI commissioned several comprehensive studies in an attempt to better understand the issue in Tennessee. They did in 2013 the geography of trafficking in Tennessee, and in 2011 Tennessee human sex trafficking and its impact on children and youth. In 2014, the TBI launched a public awareness campaign to inform the state about human trafficking and, more importantly, what can be done about it. Online, you'll find more information, videos, warning signs, and a list of nonprofits committed to the fight and need of your support. Together, we believe we can put an end to this kind of crime. It has to stop. Suspect someone if you do suspect someone may be a victim of human trafficking. Call the Tennessee Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-855-55-TN-HTH. So without further ado, I will change the settings. As I said, you will not be able to hear me. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. I will change the setting to where go to audio.
It happens every day.
Every 2 minutes.
Someone buys a child for sex.
It isn't a good time.
It can lead to a life of shame,
Pain.
And darkness.
and it happens here.
It happens here.
It is human trafficking, and Tennessee won't stand for it.
Because it hurts,
And real men don't do it.
With some of the toughest laws in the nation,
and police and nonprofits on the front lines.
The only thing missing is you.
It isn't someone else's problem.
It's Tennessee's.
and we can put an end to it together.
You.
You can do something about it. Find out how at ithastostop.com.
Today, if you saw somebody chained to a post, you would do something about it. But in the days of the transatlantic slave trade, it was a normal sight to see. It isn't as clear today of what modern slavery looks like. But by knowing the signs of human trafficking, you can help protect yourself and you can help protect others. Traffickers would often brand their victims with tattoos, using words such as daddy or cash. Trafficking victims may show sudden changes of dress and behavior. They may suddenly have possessions that they usually can't afford. They may have unusually long work hours. Victims may have new relationships with boyfriends or girlfriends that are noticeably older, and I'm not talking about a few years. Difficulty with making eye contact, especially with men. Victims may have untreated medical problems, such as cuts, bruises, burns, broken bones. They may miss school frequently, make frequent trips. Victims may be unable to speak independently. Other people may insist on answering questions for them, or even translating for them. Victims may even be frightened of authorities, seeing them as the bad guys. To request help or report possible human trafficking incidents, please call the National Human Trafficking Hotline, 1-888-3737-888, or text info or help at BeFree-233-733.
red flags to me on what I told you. Exactly. Exactly. I remember you saying that. So right here, we're at the human trafficking. It has a stop there. Modern day slavery. So then we go over here to how to help. So I've got to change it because here is another awesome video. So I will be silent again.
Trafficking's happening everywhere in the state at any given time, and it can be happening to people you know, to people you know's children or friends or anything. If you're not trying to educate yourself and know about this, who's going to help that child? Who's going to help that person? If you don't care, who else is going to care? The people that we are helping, these trafficking victims, are being forced to do this one way or another. They're put into this lifestyle not on their own. This isn't a choice. This is something that they're being made to do. And I think now, with a little more understanding, with the ability to get awareness out, I think now's what better time than now.
Yeah, it is. It's very disturbing, and it's very much red flags of what you had shared with me earlier with this other thing. And right here is how to help. You learn more about trafficking, you get involved, and you spread the word. You could go to ithasastop.com because in a few minutes you're going to probably want to download something that I want to show you here too. Exactly. Here's identify the victims. Some victims don't know. Here's some of the warning signs. Sex trafficking, and make it bigger where it'll be easier to read. Pay special attention to any person, especially a child who is unusually fearful, anxious, or submissive, or showing signs of physical abuse. A lot of people saw that and they disregarded me as a kid. Monitored, controlled, or guarded by someone else at all times, or who is prohibited from interacting with others. Unaware of what city they are in, or unable to explain the purpose of their stay. See, that's just one by one. That does not mean everybody has to have all these five things. These are just some of the warning signs. Pay special attention if this is said going on, like usually fearful, anxious, or submissive, or showing signs of physical abuse. Monitored, controlled, or guarded by someone else at all times, or who is prohibited from interacting with others. My stepmom and them used to threaten me and whip me if they found out I talked to somebody at school. Unaware of what city they are in or unable to explain the purpose of their stay, not in control of their money or documents. A child is suspicious in a suspicious circumstance, such as being alone at a hotel. Physical appearance has injuries or other signs of abuse and is reluctant to explain them. Appears malnourished, branded or marked with tattoos such as a man's name, symbol of money, or a barcode. dressed in provocative manner or in the same clothes, regardless of weather or circumstance. There's possessions, has very few personal possessions, has an unexplained sudden increase of money, clothing, or possessions like jewelry without explanation, doesn't carry identification, has a number of hotel keys or key cards. Behaviors. Now that makes me wonder because I had ran into some adults who had a bunch of key cards. So that kind of makes me even wonder about that now. The behavior claims to be an adult, though their appearance suggests adolescence. Seems to move frequently from place to place. Talks about an older boyfriend or sex with an older man. Has inconsistencies in their story. Claims to be visiting and can't state what state they're in or for how long. Isn't able to speak for themselves. Has sexually explicit profiles on social networking sites. Is not enrolled in school or is consistently absent. Seems to be withdrawn, depressed, or checked out. Lack of control. They're accompanied by someone who seems to control their every move. Seems scripted in the way they speak. Doesn't have control over their own money. Can't come and go from place to place on their own. Not in control of their identification or travel documents. Now here is the things about labor trafficking. A victim of labor trafficking may be not free to leave, not in control of their own identification, money, or communication devices, unpaid or paid very little, or paid through tips only, work excessively long or unusual hours, owe a large debt to their employee, recruited through false promises concerning the nature and conditions of the work, lack general knowledge of the area, subject to unusual security measures such as locks outside of their doors, fearful of authority figures, showing signs of restraint or abuse, in possession of a few or no personal items, not allowed to speak for themselves, controlled by their employer in a variety of ways for transportation to food and housing, lacking health care, or not reporting injuries at work. It says, do you suspect someone to be a victim of human trafficking? Here are some helpful questions to consider if you have asked. Here are some of the questions you ask. Who are you? Do you have your ID? Are you married and do you have children? If so, where are they? Who do you work for? Do you know their name? Who pays for your tools, vehicles, bed, and food? Do you know where you are? State, city, building, business? Does your family know where you are? How did you get here? What type of transportation did you take? What vehicle were you transported in? And who brought you here? Where do you live? Do you live on the premises? Do you pay rent? How long have you lived there? How often do you move? Do you have a key to your apartment or house? Does your employer provide the housing? Are you legally able to work here? How old are you? Do you have a professional license? How are you paid? Do you receive a paycheck that you get to keep? Or are you paid only through tips? What would happen if you left? Do you have access to a phone? Do you have access to a computer? Are you able to receive mail? There's someone who monitors your movements. Do you have a key to your home? Wow, very good questions there, ain't it? Yeah, long hours. Making the screen bigger over here. Oh wow, they got a big bunch of keys and everything too. Oh wow, so two, but never seen them again. That's pretty scary, Jackie. Right. Sounds like a jail door get locked. Oh boy, that's not good. Making the call. If you generally believe you may be witnessing trafficking or have encountered a victim of trafficking, contact the Tennessee Human Trafficking Hotline at 1 855 55 TNHTH or click below. If it's an emergency, call 911. See, that's where you can go to ithasn't stopped.com, learn more. That's where you report a trafficking tip. Hotline facts. Who answers the hotline? The calls are answered by specially trained professionals who collect information and provide referral services. Callers who need foreign language and translation will be connected with a government sponsored national trafficking hotline operated by the Polaris Project. Who should call? The hotline is for anyone who is a victim or potential victim of human trafficking, for people who believe they may have information about possible human trafficking, for citizens who want to know more about human trafficking in Tennessee. What about privacy? All calls made to the hotline, the content of the conversation, and the telephone number from which call was made are confidential. It's not an open public record and not available for public inspection except by order of a court of competent jurisdiction where necessary in an independent criminal investigation. And here's to learn more about trafficking. I think so that's where we just saw that. Okay. And let me go back there. So the next one is get involved. This is what I think that y'all would really like this here right here. Get involved. Men, human trafficking is a demand driven crime, largely fueled by men. A growing number of men have embraced the issue of human trafficking and their unique role in contributing to its end. Become a defender instead of an enabler, instead of being making more of these people victims. You not have a soul. Students, you have the ability to spread the message of it has to stop like few others. In recent years, groups of students on campuses across the country have rallied around the need to address human trafficking in this generation through awareness and action. That's why we launched. It could be me. Medical providers. One study suggests that close to 90% of victims saw a medical provider and close to 65% of victims sought treatment at a hospital or emergency room while being trafficked. Unfortunately, recognizing a patient who is experiencing trafficking may be a difficult task. Educators. Introduction to Human Trafficking for Tennessee Educators, developed by the Tennessee Anti Slavery Alliance in partnership with the End Slavery Tennessee, provides public educators with the vital information needed to identify potential victims of human trafficking, report appropriately, and understand the available resources necessary for the treatment and care of survivors. Go there. And here's where you spread the word when you get it. Make sure, and Jackie, you will like this link too, but just because of the fact that there's some pamphlets and brochures. Use your voice. Support the push to end human trafficking. Feel free to share it with your friends online. Prefer a printable poster? We got you covered. See, so right here, you can download these posters. See this, Jackie? You can download these posters. I'm in it to end it. I'm in it to end it. She's a person, not a product. One victim is one too many. You can download these. When it comes to human trafficking, one victim is one too many. Learn warning signs and what to do next. It has to stop.com. Buying sex online. Better think twice. Our laws on human trafficking are among the country's toughest. Then they need to get with the. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. She's a person, not a product. Take a stand against human trafficking. I mean, even if it's another country, I think even just having flyers up with the words like when it comes to human trafficking, one victim is one too many, such as that. And here's a podcast that people could go and listen to. Also, like I said, you can find this at ithastostop.com. Spread word. And listen, someone like me. Enjoy podcasts. Someone like me provides an audience for the voice of human trafficking survivors, highlights the work of End Slavery Tennessee, and sheds light on the complex emotional factors that leads to trafficking and hinders recovery. Someone Like Me features real life events told by actual survivors who are graduates of the End Slavery Tennessee program. The podcast explores ways to gain a deeper understanding of how people become human trafficking victims and the many challenges and obstacles that hinder their recovery. Someone Like Me also highlights updates from program leaders about initiatives in this vital work and provide education to dissolve common myths around human trafficking. I had seen this information and I felt like it was pertinent, needed. Yes, it has to stop. Oh, you dropped the link. Right. Thank you. That is good. Yeah, you go in there when it has to stop. I come and there's different when you go it has to stop, go to spread the word. You got options right there. It says learn more about trafficking, get involved. Here, let me show me the page again, okay? Thank you. I'm gonna share that again. Okay, so we're right here. We're at it has a stop, and we're on how to help. Let's see, get me here right quick there. So first we went right here. We go it has a stop.com. So we go on further down how you can help. Learn more. How you can help. Learn more about trafficking, get involved, and spread the word. Right here at Spread the Word, that's where you go further down and you see the brochures right here. Download and share them. Where you get the posters where you can download them. And then you also have the link to listen and subscribe to these stories. Yes, it is. It's very universal. I just wish they would do something with some of the people that's messed with the kids and stuff and making them remain silent, like the Gracie and Grant Solomon case. I wish Tennessee would do something about that. I'm still mad about that. I'm proud of them about having this, but it's not going to be any good until they resolve issues like letting the father who messed with their daughter and them covering his for him. Governor Bill Lee, I know you go to his church. Do something about it. Y'all need to quit covering for him. Aaron Solomon. Something needs done. Grant Solomon deserves justice. He was murdered. We already saw all the evidence pinpointing to that. Do your job and help the people. She was a kid. She was at the mercy of her own father. So I saw that this needed to be done. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good website too. Yeah, poor Grant. Yeah, he was got fixing to testify about his daddy messing with his sister, and he winds up killed. What did his daddy call and say? Meet me up here. He didn't even feel like it. He was sick. The boy was sick, and he had even told his mom, "Mom, I don't want to go because I'm afraid he's going to kill me." And he did. The very same day. Very same day. Like he knew what his daddy would do. It's a shame. It's a shame that the police did nothing. I don't understand. I know they just got money. What about y'all's soul? You know what? You police officers that's defending this guy. Guess what? I hate to say it, but a lot of this stuff will come back at you. Or one of your relatives is going to be done this way. What are you going to do then? Are you going to sweep it under the rug? It's a very strange case. I feel so sorry for him. He was an inspiration to a lot of people, and it kills me knowing that he had his um, services at that school. But they didn't protect him or defend him. I know he couldn't have been happy about that. I hope the whole FBI, not Tennessee, but the whole entire FBI will come and investigate Tennessee because Tennessee not doing nothing about it. Everybody's sugarcoating it. Senator Jack Johnson, he's a part of it. He goes to that church as well. Governor Bill Lee goes to that church as well. And they say that we need to be quiet because we're an abomination for talking about this. How dare we say this? Speak bad of them by doing this. We need to remain quiet. We need to let this keep happening. There was restraining order. The daddy was not even supposed to go to the school and be able to pick her up. Yet they still let her go over there. Even when she wasn't in school, he was going in there after school, taking the pictures of the girls in their gym shorts and then trying to contact them later. Aaron Solomon was the grown man. The grown man contacting the students in that school to try to get with them. What's up with that? Why are they still allowing that man to do this sick, twisted stuff? You're still letting him victimize others. And even that little kid that was like 3, 4, 5 year old that got raped by the Sunday school teacher at one of the school at one of the churches and stuff, part of affiliated with the schools and stuff. And did you say, oh well, he'll get over it in time? Why don't y'all do something with the Sunday school teacher that raped him? What about them 6 boys that attacked that one boy repeatedly? Threw him in a garbage can and they raped him and all this stuff in Franklin, Tennessee. Y'all can check it out. It's there. It's all in black and white. Y'all can check it out. Y'all need to do something about it. Quit bragging about Tennessee being the safest state, for combating trafficking when you will not even protect the ones that's, unless the person's got money, you're defending the guy that's doing it. Why are you doing that? So are you therefore responsible? You ain't going to stop some of the trappers now, also possibly because of the fact that y'all are still letting this perpetrator that's going sadistically bothering these other kids. Why ain't y'all doing something about that? Exactly. Where do we go when we don't trust the police? I didn't have anybody I could trust either, and that's a lot of people say, "Oh, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" Well, like I said before, the police. I got in trouble before. They called me a liar about it because my dad said all the bruises and stuff all over me was from me falling into blackberry bushes. And the cop told me, "Don't you ever say nothing about him again or we'll arrest you." So what do you do? What do you do when the police themselves threaten you? When the police themselves, like Alabama State Trooper, whose daddy did the child pornography stuff, which had me and a bunch of the child porno. And the officer is still saying, "I remember doing you when you was a little girl." Excuse me? What do you do when there's people that's supposed to serve and protect and they ain't doing their job? Who do you go to? They tell you see an officer on the street, go to him. Excuse me, if that was a state trooper, I guarantee you, do not go to that state trooper, the one that's bad about doing these things with children. Excuse me? Look at the school teacher. They say go to a teacher. You seen all the school teachers that's been arrested for raping the students too. What do you do, people? We need to be firmer about this. We need to stand our ground, so we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. You know, you might say that Tennessee's a safe state for we get combating trafficking, combating the other stuff too that's going around. Stop sweeping it under the rug. Stop putting this. It's almost like some of the other things they go like, okay, we don't want it on the Gracie Grant Solomon, so we'll go like this and have it on trafficking and make everybody's mind on the trafficking thing. Get the other thing. You're a big enough thing. You're Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, FBI. Y'all's job is perpetrate. Y'all supposed to be working for us. You're the government that's supposed to be working for the people. You're not supposed to be working for these bad bandits, these people. You're supposed to help the less people that's less able to have the help. You know, you're making a bad name for yourselves by not doing this. Okay, well, thank you so much, Jackie. You know, I got a voice. I will be loud and say these things. Yes, they are. There was a little boy that was on the grassroots army recently, and he brought it up to the school board, and he started reading part of a book, and I think he's just like, I think it was in the third grade, and it was telling him about how this other guy pulled his pants down and he was, you know, erect and all this and the right way that he should be kissing that other boy and the right way he should be doing that. It was and the boy the parent came unglued and some of the school board even gasped. Then they said that you think you're gasping. Why aren't y'all doing something about it? Okay, please do. I appreciate that, Jackie. Kids are a commodity. They are a gift from God, but they ain't a gift from God to use like this. They're a gift from God to love and nurture and treat with respect. Rear in the right way that they need to go. Nurture them. Show them where they need to go in life. You know, teach them the right way. Don't teach them all this sadistic sexual behavior. Teach them about the good thing. Even kids should not even be knowing about sex when they're 5, 6 year old. Thank you. There was a neighbor kid. She had 2 kids over there at another neighbor's house. One girl, she had seen the vibrator and she was like 7 years old. And she said, "This is what you do to a vibrator." And she started jumping up and down. I like, "Don't do that. Don't do that. That's sick. Don't do that." How did she know how about? I wasn't even though I was done the way I was done, I had a block out about my kind of, I was still kind of innocent because a lot of mine was blocked on one, and I could not believe it. And then the little boy, he's 5 years old. He said, "I just got there seeing a couple condoms." And I said, "What? You saw a couple of condoms when I was transferring, you know, from one dresser to the back bedroom, you know, taking stuff out of her door for her?" And I said, "Do you know what they are?" He said, "Yeah, a guy before they have sex, they put it over their weenie ding." Is the way of saying it, but he said the right words, you know. And I'm like, what? How is a kindergartner knowing what to do with a dang rubber? Excuse me? This is sick, y'all. Seriously. I could not believe seeing these 2 young kids that knew how to use a vibrator and how to use a rubber. A 5-year-old boy that knew how to use a condom, what to do, how to put it on, everything. How did he even know how to put it on? I don't know, but he was graphic about telling me. I listened to him and I was like, oh my, oh, you know what I'm saying? But what do you do? I don't know how he found out. I don't know which one of the adults told on him. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be walking at 2 o'clock in the morning, just walking down the sidewalk of my apartments. The two kids had school the next morning, get up and get on the school bus. They were still wide awake in the living room, just sitting there. Oh, yeah. I've read that they're trying to teach them that homosexuality is okay, and they want them to play act with a dildo and all that kind of stuff, to play act the humping and all that kind of stuff. And it's okay. Oh, yeah. The role play and saying it's okay, that's the only natural. It's not. They're making our kids even more sick and twisted. Making them, I mean, where's the innocence of a child at now? Everybody's taking the child's innocence away from them. And the name of my book, Shattered Innocence. Now all these kids' innocence are being shattered by the government, demanding we teach our kids these certain things. That's why a lot of parents that I know are starting to take their kids out of school and homeschooling them. And I don't blame them one little iota about that. That might be the only way possible to protect our kids where the world is today. But what do you do in instances where your own parents, like my parents, if I would have never went to school, I probably wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn. These children, man. One day I had was going to do this quiz game on a lie that I was doing. And I asked little things like, what, I gave a hint the person supposed to guess what I was talking about, Jackie. And I said, we pledge allegiance to this in the United States. We pledge allegiance to it. A lady said, and she's in her 40s. I don't know. What do we pledge allegiance to? We pledge allegiance to the flag. What 40-year-old did she not know we pledge allegiance to a flag, right? Another one that they didn't know was, this is the kind of animal that has wings and flies in the air. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't think of anything. I don't know what that answer could be. What? You don't know that that's saying, just from the description, it's a bird? They're not teaching our kids today. These 40-year-olds are nothing, don't know anything. Wow. Catholic schools sometimes scare me too, because I heard a lot about what goes on in some of it. Yep. I'm glad that they're taking their kids out doing that. That way, that if you do have good parents and you're teaching them, teach them the right ways, people. Don't teach them how to use a condom. Don't teach them what all that kind of stuff. Kids in the fifth that didn't know what they are, they used to think they were balloons and then fill them up with water. That's the innocence of a child there. Thank you so much for coming, Jackie, and I appreciate you. hit me up on WhatsApp after a while and let me know what you want, what you're going to show, and I'll be glad to look at it and all. This is sick, sadistic. Even if they say that they're one of the best state for combating, then how come there's still 200 children missing each month? To me, that's still a big problem. You saved, 13 kids combating? Where's the kids that you're rescuing? Where's that? How's that combating when you just 13? Is that all you're going to say you got recently? Get real, people. 13 is not even a slap on the wrist when there's that many kids that they're saying that are going missing each month alone in the state of Tennessee. Be hyper vigilant. Stop turning your back when you see somebody grab a kid. A kid might even holler, "You're not my parent. Somebody help. Somebody help." And then the guy might say, "I am your parent too." But that's what a stupid predator would say. And so now, guess what? You just helped the predator escape with a kid. And the kid was warning you, "You're not my parent. Get away. Turn loose of me. Turn loose. Turn loose." Check out the facts, people. Don't turn your back. Too many. Look, there's that little Summer Wells case. We don't even know what really happened with her. And that case has got me bumhuggled. People start caring. Stop saying you care. Stop saying you care if you're not doing nothing about it. If you genuinely care, do something about it. Stop it. Stop turning your back. Stop saying it's none of my business. Get involved. All right. Well, I guess that's my bit for the day. For now, anyway. And thank you so much, Jackie. Lots of love and appreciation to you. And I appreciate if you would share it. And God bless you.